Good morning, Patriots. JT here, Serenity Farms prepping. 6:15 a.m. 9 degrees. Got a phone call, 4:53 this morning from an old landlord and friend who lives several hours away, telling me the computer program told them the furnace had not turned on and the temperature was dropping rapidly in the house that I used to live in and caretake for them. Asked me if I would go down and check it out because we still do things for each other. I plow, I shovel, I snow blow, I help them with their boat. Things friends do for each other. So down I went. Looked around, checked the thermostat, looked at the furnace real quick. It appears that it came on while I was there, so if there's a little glitch in the matrix of the computer program or whatever, the internet, the house had lost power the day before because the coffee pot was blinking, but the downstairs apartment where I used to live was extremely warm, so that was working. So it appeared, can't say if it was the power outages or just a little, there's leeway of a degree or two opposed to what the computer program says or when the furnace actually kicks on. Point being, do you have backup power? This house does not. It's on the electric grid. The furnace is natural gas, which is also dependent on the electric grid. And they could have a backup generator installed outside the house because of the natural gas, but that only comes on if the electric goes out, and that was not the case here. The electric, all lights were on and stuff when I got there, so electric was not the issue. So that generator would not have kicked on. So, and it doesn't appear it's a furnace issue because it was running after I got there. So they're going to come up, check it out. But the point being, even a backup generator, in this case, would not have helped them with heat because it wouldn't have came on because it didn't recognize no electric. No wood stove. Tenant is out of town. Not that she would have done anything except maybe call the local guy who they have on speed dial. But nonetheless, 9 degrees, 30, 40 mile an hour winds coming off the lake. The house is right on the lake. Would have been some issues real fast. So in their particular case, they were fortunate enough that they had me today. They don't always. I left my house. When I left my house, the wood stove was going. It'll run for another couple hours by itself. I had turned the pellet stove off because it needed to be cleaned and the little pot was filling up. So I figured I'd turn it off. It'd be cool enough when I got back. If something went wrong while I was gone with electric, my wood stove was going. That's fine as long as I'm only gone 3-4 hours before I got to shove some more wood in there. I could call my dad and ask him to go up and put in some wood. If there was cell service and AT&T hadn't gone out and then offered everybody $5 for their troubles, you get where I'm going with this? You may have a wood stove. You may have a gas generator. You may have a solar generator. Those are all great. They all have their place. We all have our debates when we should use one and not the other. For SHTF, that's a choice each person will have to make. But the bottom line is, all of them or none of them are any good if there's no one there. Now, the situation I just had with the landlords living several hours away, the tenant not being home, even if she had been, the only thing she would have done was let in the furnace guy if they could have got a hold of him. There was a couple things I could have done that the tenant couldn't have done had the furnace not been running and me knowing it for years. But ultimately, there might have been something that was above my pay grade as well. So, when you consider all backup power sources, which we're severely limited to, it's a wood stove, it's a gas generator, it's a solar generator, it may be a multi-fuel generator. Bottom line is, they don't start themselves, and someone has to be there to either turn them on, fuel them, and then turn them off. We need to know who we can trust to come do these things, not do these things. They're going to be entering your domain. Like with me and my dad, everything's the same. We're the only two living there. We got it covered, provided we're both home. Just something to think about. JT, signing out.